Hello. Today I'd like to talk with beginning violin students about how to read pitches on the music staff. You know, there's so many different elements to learning how to play an instrument at the beginning of the school year. You have to learn how to hold the instrument and then how to hold the bow, and there's so many things to think about. But today we're just going to focus on how to read pitches on the music staff so that when we look at music in our music book, we know what we're looking at and we know what notes to play. So let's get started. The musical alphabet gives letter names to the notes, called pitches. When we're talking about pitch, we're talking about how high or low a note sounds. The musical alphabet includes the first 7 letters of the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. After G, the cycle of these letter names repeats itself, and the pitches keep on sounding higher and higher, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on. These musical pitches are placed onto a music staff, which is made up of 5 parallel lines. We can tell what pitch we're supposed to play by how high or low the note is placed on the music staff. When we look at a musical note, one of the most important parts of that note is called the note head, which is the round part of the note. If the note is placed on the music staff with a line going through the note head, we call that a line note. If the note head is placed in the space between 2 lines, we call that a space note. So we have space notes and line notes. But how do we know which note is an A or a B or a C? That's where the clef becomes so important. The clef indicates a certain system for where each pitch is placed on the staff. The treble clef is generally used for higher sounding instruments like violin or flute. The alto clef is for middle-ranged instruments like the viola. Cello and string bass players read the low notes written in the bass clef. In this video, we'll focus on the treble clef. The treble clef is sometimes called the G clef because the circular part of the treble clef makes a circle around the G line. So here's the note G. Since we remember that the musical alphabet is made up of the letters A through G, and since we know that the G is here on the second line, the note A must be in the space above it, and the note B is on the line note above that, and so on. Now there's a couple little tricks to remembering the names of the line notes and the space notes in the treble clef. Let's take a look. The line notes of the treble clef are E, G, B, D, and F. To help us remember that, we can learn the phrase, "Every good boy does fine." Remember to count up from the bottom of the music staff. Every good boy does fine, E, G, B, D, F. The space notes of the treble clef are F, A, C, and E. Now that's actually a little easier to remember than the line notes because this spells the word face, and face rhymes with space, like the space notes. So for the space notes, remember F, A, C, E, face. Now, in our beginning strings class, we won't need to remember every single one of these notes right away. And today, let's focus on some of the first notes that we'll need to be able to easily identify. And I want you to think of these notes kind of like sight words. When you were first learning how to read, you probably learned some sight words that you could easily identify. And I want to consider these notes to be the same kind of thing. So we can consider these to be like sight notes. For our open D string, the note head is placed under the 5 lines of the music staff. For our open A string, the note head is placed on the second space from the bottom. Can you test yourself to see how quickly you can identify these Ds and As that will show on the screen? In between the D and the A, we have another space note. Can you identify this note? Did you remember that the space notes are F, A, C, and E? So this is an F. For beginning violin, we'll often call this note F sharp. So now, can you test yourself to see how quickly you can identify these Ds and As and F sharps that will show on the screen? Now let's think about some line notes. Do you remember the phrase we used to remember the names of the line notes? Every good boy does fine, for E, G, B, D, F. So that would mean this note is an E and this note is a G. Can you test yourself to see how quickly you can identify these E's and G's that will show on the screen? So to put it all together, the first 5 notes that would be most important to identify are D, E, F sharp, G, and A. So to help you get some practice identifying your D string notes, I've created a D string worksheet, and I'll put a PDF file linked in the description below. Maybe your parents can help you print it out, and you can do this worksheet at home, and it'll give you some practice reading those D string notes. For my students at school, I'll give you a printout and it'll be due for homework, the D string worksheet. And to review everything that we've talked about in this video, I'll put a link in the description below to a review sheet PDF. Now for teachers and for anyone else who might want to know, I'll put a link in the description below to the videos for the alto clef notes and the bass clef notes. I hope you'll take a moment and check out the other videos I have available for you on this YouTube channel. And my hope is that these videos will be helpful, especially for beginning musicians. And best wishes to you as you get better at reading notes on the music staff. And I know you will. Thanks for watching.